And welcome back, everybody. How's your day doing? Your evening, your morning, whatever time of the day you're listening to. This is the Table Talk Podcast.
Welcome.
Previously known as the Takeaway Table Podcast. But we realized that name is just too long.
That's right, that's right.
These are your hosts this morning or
What is
evening.
happening, dude?
MingY, and we have a special guest.
Natalie Chai.
Yes.
People will take the hint, but sometimes it's okay. We are all in our own time.
That's right.
We have a special guest today. MingY, why don't you bring her in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is a very special person to everyone and myself included. It is the Nat Story, aka Natalie. Welcome to the studio.
Welcome to myself.
Is this the first time on the show?
Yeah.
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 What took you so long?
I'm so sorry.
Okay. Oh my
Budgeting.
God.
We didn't have a lot of budgeting.
So the Nat story. What is your story? Who you? What you do?
Well, as of now, I think I can safely say I have 3 hats.
Okay.
Okay.
I run my own business helping smaller startups do
Yes.
their marketing.
Yes.
I'm also with part-time with an agency doing digital marketing.
Yes.
And I'm also a part-time translator for Korean-related stuff.
Amazing.
And that's what we want to talk about
Amazing
today, right?
today. We were thinking about angling this to talk about the ultimate freelancer.
But we're not actually
we're
talking
not.
about that. No.
We're zooming in, honing in on one of her special skills
No, not even that actually.
that
Guys.
leads to a special job.
Kind of.
That leads to a special topic that we're talking.
Take me out of here.
Today
Let
we
me
are
get
talking
to it.
about...
Oh my God.
I feel like MingH doesn't know what we're actually talking
we're
about.
talking about juicy stuff.
We are talking about...
We're talking about legs.
No!
The ecosystem of eggs.
We're talking about meeting our heroes.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's set the stage
That's
for
what I
today's
meant.
discussion and topic. So all 3 of us have been...
Heroes. Once in our
I
lives.
think so. No. We've actually had the opportunity and the chance to meet some of the people in the entertainment scene that we personally look up to.
Yes.
Throughout our journey in this industry, of course. We have met a lot of, actors and artists from the Western world.
Yes.
And Natalie has met a couple of artists from the Korean world in particular.
The Eastern world.
Which we will dive into in a bit later. There's a saying that goes, never meet your heroes.
Never.
Right? And just to start it off, do you think it's true? Natalie.
I really stand by the statement.
You really
I
said-
think
oh,
you
no.
shouldn't ever meet your heroes because
Ever.
I
Why,
think
why?
there's always that 5% or 10% that they may end up being a true hero when you meet them.
Yeah.
But based on experience, most of the time probably they won't end up being your heroes. What about you?
Oh man.
What about you guys?
Initially I never believed it. Right. Initially I was always just like, I need to meet them anyway. I want to meet them anyway. But after doing it a couple of times, maybe it's the realism of it. I just like, if you tell me that there's a chance to meet this singer or an actor, it doesn't appeal to me
Yes.
anymore. Not so much.
Yeah, I think we are very fortunate to be in an industry and to achieve a certain level where we are. We get invited to interesting things.
Yeah.
Most of these interesting things have interesting people attending them.
That's right. That's right.
Not to say that, we're not too interesting ourselves.
Okay.
But it is more true more often than not. It's easier to leave your heroes on screen.
It is definitely. And I think to add an extra layer or dimension to this conversation is that, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but it is true that all 3 of us are somewhat, I hate saying this, we're somewhat heroes to other people as well.
I'm not a hero.
No,
Not
okay,
me.
you have to listen. Okay, guys, for the sake of the conversation, right now, 3 of us, put up your hand if you have been recognized in public and asked and stopped for a picture. Put up your hand, honestly.
How are people going to see?
Just say me. 1, 2, 3. Me. Natalie, you have. I've witnessed this many times. We've been out together. You have to say me.
Me. It's
Natalie
not,
said that.
Bali.
you don't wanna say it,
Okay, Natalie.
Okay, great.
All
So
right.
all 3 of us have been recognized and stopped for pictures.
I mean,
in
we're
public,
grateful
right?
for it. Not but
Correct. When
Not
nobody's
because-
it's
not
the,
because
it's
you're
the
a star.
byproduct of
Correct.
doing YouTube.
So let's stop the humble fake pie here and just own up to it, right? It has happened to us at some point in life.
Yes, and it's now
right?
happening to my baby.
Correct.
Oh, right,
That's
okay.
Yeah.
So the main point that I'm trying to kind of like talk about here is that now we have both
sides of the coin.
Yeah, we have both sides of the coin moving into this conversation.
We are meeting our heroes.
Yes.
And we are meeting our audience.
Correct.
Right.
So that makes this a little bit more interesting on our side as
Oh, boy.
the in-between.
That is true.
Okay? All right. So
Interesting.
before we continue, I think we have to kind of explain to people what it is we do that allows us to end up in the position of meeting our heroes. So let's start with Natalie. Natalie,
What do you do?
how do you get yourself involved in the world of everything Korean?
Well, to be honest, I took it up as a language.
Yep. And how old?
And when I was maybe about 17, 18,
18.
11 years ago.
Yes.
You do the math.
Okay.
So I took it up as just as an interest. It wasn't even something I was like I didn't go out and say, oh my God, I'm going to learn Korean.
To be a translator.
Yeah, I know. I didn't do that. That wasn't the objective.
And this was even before the K-pop,
it was
the
before
K-pop
that.
wave, right?
Just, out of your own interest.
yeah, because during that time, it was the Japanese wave. And I wanted to
Correct,
be
correct,
cool,
correct,
you
correct.
know?
In
I want to be
Malaysia, yeah.
cool.
Sasuke.
So I,
No, that
I,
wasn't even around the time.
Oh, okay.
I chose Korean, studied 1 year here, and then another year in Korea.
Yeah.
So when I came back, a lot of people knew about it because
You
at that
studied
time,
in Korea.
yes, I did
for a year.
for a year in the university there in their language course.
Where was it?
It's in this university called the Yonsei University.
Oh,
Yeah, so
Beyonce University. That's what I heard.
Beyonce University.
I heard.
Yonsei University.
Yonsei.
That's what they call the Beyonce fans.
Oktang.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So
Get some
you-
spicy bits of first in Korean, guys.
Yeah.
you come back here and people are like, why did you go to Korea?
Mm-hmm.
And it's from there the conversation starts and say, oh, you know Korean? And then when Korean related jobs started coming in, these people who knew that I went to Korea knew who to recommend to those who needed a Korean
Right.
translator.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So that's how the job started coming in. So it started coming in since like more rapidly since like 2013 or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it just word of
Boom.
mouth from
Right.
one to another and
Yeah.
then until today.
And then the
Okay.
K wave started.
And then the K-wave started,
And the rest was
and it
history.
was just crazy.
Yeah. And so Natalie is actually, I'm gonna just kind of like bust out a few names. Natalie has actually translated for, she's actually translated for EXO, FX, A-Pink. There was the actor, what's the guy's actor? What's his name again?
Ji Chang-wook.
Ji Chang-wook, Kim Tae-hee, recently Park Shin-hye.
Yep. And also Oh Yeon-seo.
Yeah, that is A-list of the Korean celebrities.
Okay.
Very
And,
nuts.
and definitely people who I didn't mention, just in case we dive into
There's-
stories
there's a
and you
couple
assume
of-
that it's
There's a
it's
couple.
one of those.
There's a few more that we can't remember right now. So that's how you got involved with the
Yeah, right.
Korean
and all
world, right?
this started from the fact that you just want to learn Korean.
Yeah, correct. It was just accidental. It was never in the plan.
Also, I think it would be great to highlight that Natalie has a certain tendency to learn languages.
I think the word is talent.
What there was another word for it, not just talent. What was the people who pick up languages quick? You just sing it.
Talented.
No. Okay, you know what?
Polyglot.
There we go, a polyglot. Okay. Natalie learns languages by totally diving into a culture.
Yeah.
She don't go to Chinese class. She go to China.
Yeah.
All right, she go to China for
Yeah,
6
I
months.
really did.
中国.
I was in I was in China for about 8
Jack Ma.
years.
8 years.
No, 8 months.
8
or so.
months.
Whoa,
8
it's a
months.
long
Yeah,
time.
so she
Yeah.
devotes and submerges herself in the culture, and the results are phenomenal.
Yeah, I think you really
She
have
can't speak Chinese like a normal Chinese person.
中国.
In Malaysia at least. She speaks like a mainland China girl.
to. Correct. So it's
It's
very
quite weird,
tough
right?
for me to conversate in Chinese here. Then I will turn back to a banana. I don't like to use the term, but
Yeah.
I will turn back to a banana when I have to use Chinese here because
Okay.
right here you cannot use the.
Just for the sake of the audience, can you introduce yourself in Chinese? Like Mandarin, like your Chinese.
Go for it.
Oh my gosh.
Let's try. Let's
One,
try.
two,
Maybe
three.
I could say something like 大家好，今天我来到这里，我就是想跟大家说
Yeah, even
我
then, I can't speak Chinese, but I know that's not Malaysian Chinese. Your how, you know, it's
I
like
mean, then
Jack
when
Ma, you know, it's like just 中国.
Yeah, so when you order stuff like you want to say one portion, you
Yeah.
will say 一个.
一个.
But then
Yeah.
when you
In
really
China?
want to do the whole like look, you 服务员想要一份.
Wow,
会啊.
that's local.
That's
Then-
like one portion.
okay, and can you do all of that in Korean as well? And so this is a pet peeve that Natalie and more me. I have this pet peeve when we travel to Korea, or even in Malaysia, and I hear Malaysians speaking Korean or saying Korean words
감사합니다.
with
Like this.
terrible pronunciation. Like it
감사합니다.
makes me angry. So Natalie, can you introduce yourself and kind of say a few words in Korean, like legit Korean?
안녕하세요, 나탈리입니다. 오늘 이렇게 테이크어웨이 시청해 주셔서 감사합니다.
Oh
And this is the
my
why.
Lord.
This is the reason we get discounts in Korea.
And this is the why.
This is the why we get discounts
Other
in
than
Korea.
the fact that aunties continually molest MingY and myself
Yes,
when
true.
we
Their
go into
butts.
shops.
And their birds. But no, for real, like Koreans actually think that she's Korean, and that's why we get discounts when they find out she's not actually
She's
Korean.
not.
But enough about Natalie, because we don't want to talk about her all day.
Yeah.
MingH, how do we find ourselves in a position of being able to meet some of the greatest actors and artists of our time
So
in where we are?
we had a brief moment in life where we decided to say yes to some opportunities.
Yeah.
And we thought like we take a break and we travel the world a bit.
Yeah.
And our journeys brought us to meet a lot of brilliant actors, I would say. Everyone from Matthew McConaughey.
I
right?
don't think we've met
No,
Matthew
no,
McConaughey.
no, sorry.
I can't say we
Who
have.
that dude? That Daredevil dude? Matthew J. Blige. Matthew Cox. Courtney Cox.
Guys,
McFly.
did you
Sorry,
actually
what is
meet
that?
this guy?
No, that's the
That's
real
his
guy's
name.
No, that's the guy.
That's his name in the show, dude.
Yeah,
Raj,
that's what you're
that
saying.
was bad.
No, that's what you were saying.
Matthew Murdoch.
It's not his real name.
That's not his real name.
Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox.
Come on, Charlie Cox.
I had that right somewhere.
No, you did.
Okay, sorry, let's watch it back. We've had a brilliant opportunities to meet people like Charlie Cox, to even Chris Hemsworth,
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo,
Michael Fassbender, freaking Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, so
it's pretty crazy.
we really had a chance to even Tilda Swinton.
So we also met the president of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Kevin Feige, the man himself behind all of Marvel's greatest productions.
Right.
So we've met a couple of crazy people.
I mean, we've also met them under the context of junket, an interview.
yeah.
So they are, for the most part of it, very pleasant.
Yo, they are.
Minus,
Yeah.
there are some of them who are very tired,
Yes.
and then
Hence moody.
then the moodiness comes out,
Ah, man.
and they treat everyone like media.
yeah.
The difference is we aren't media.
We are not media.
We're there for the lols most of the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think we have a very real account of these people.
Yeah.
But you see, putting a point right there, that's the risk. As a normal person, you get tired.
Yeah.
You are also, subject to human emotions
Yeah.
that we don't see on screen.
Yeah.
And immediately the image of this person crumbles.
Yeah.
The minute they are like, I really don't talk to you right now.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh my gosh, did Captain America just say he didn't want to talk to me?
Exactly. And no, like even if you don't bring it that far, you meet some of our local heroes, right?
Yeah.
We've met Sharifah Amani. Sharifah Amani is a massive hero for me. I love her.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm so blessed that she is even better than what I thought she'd be in real life.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
For reals. And then people like, Sazi Fala. I want to meet Joe Flizzo. He seems like a cool guy. I don't know if I'll get a chance to meet him. Let's bring it over across the pond in Singapore. People like Cesare, Charlie Lim, the Sam Willows. We know them as friends.
Yeah.
But if we didn't know them, it might be a different story.
Yeah.
So let's bring it back to the big A-listers that we've met, right?
Okay.
One of your first jobs, like we don't have to pinpoint anything in particular. What was your emotional state going into, like the day of, okay, I'm gonna meet them today. It's gonna be crazy. Oh, you've also translated for AOA, one of my favorite groups.
Yeah. One of my first jobs meeting my heroes.
Oh no,
So
I'm already scared.
the first event that I've actually translated for was a joint event where they had about 3 to 4 different groups, big groups
Yeah,
together.
it was a massive concert, right?
It was a massive concert. All these A-lister boy groups, girl groups were all together. And I remember when I was heading there, I was like, oh my God, I hope I don't lose this shit,
Okay.
But the thing is, I think I was just very worried about the questions and whatnot. So I don't think my focus was so much on meeting them. My focus was really just doing my job well at that point of time. And I think that really sort of like diverted my attention from being fangirly and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And then going there, meeting them, it's a very different story because you see them off camera.
Yeah.
You see them when they're resting, how they're engaging with each other, and you sort of see their true personality from there, how they're treating their staff, the organizers and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in conclusion, that event itself was very eye-opening for me because it was also one of the worst experiences for me till date.
Are you serious?
Yes. So
Can you let's kind of, we don't have to go into specifics because we don't want to call out any of these people.
Definitely.
But can you just give us an insider? What happened? Like, was it the way they treated the other people? Was it the way they treated you?
Definitely the way they treated me in particular.
Oh, here we go, man.
It's a very long story. I'll try to cut it short.
Yeah.
So, no names involved, but
none.
it was this girl group that
that's a lot of information.
Everybody likes.
Yeah.
Everybody loves this
One
girl
of the
group.
4 girl groups.
What?
Is it one? You said there was a few girl groups on that
There
day,
were a
is it?
few. No. So there were a lot of different boy and girl groups
Yeah.
on
Okay,
that day.
okay. There
This
we
is
go.
an
this is
unspecified time.
Unspecified
Right.
time.
All right.
Yeah.
So there was this girl group that everybody likes, and in particular, there was this one member of this girl
Yeah,
group,
yeah.
right? Who was so loved by everybody because
Yeah.
she was like
The best.
she was like on reality shows and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I met her that day, and I was quite excited to see her in real life.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
looked so sweet and everything. And when everybody was resting, I remember there was this buffet of like food at the side of the waiting room, you know. So I was just there, just waiting for them to like chill out and everything before, because the room right after was the press conference room. So they were
Yeah.
just chilling there. And this girl in particular, I was
Let's call her Meow.
Okay, so Meow, Meow was in the room, and I was just looking at my questions, getting ready to make sure that I cue everybody in time and everything. So I was just looking at my thing, walking, and by accident, because I was so focused here, I wasn't looking at the artist at all. She walked past, and I hit her on the shoulder, just slightly, you know. But she was so angry at that mistake. She looked at me, and she was like. So at that moment, when I looked up, I was like, "Oh my God, it's her!"
Yeah.
How can that sound come from her? Then that was number one.
Yes,
right.
red
that
flag
was,
number
that was,
one.
That was like red flag number
Yeah,
one, correct?
yeah.
And then I went on doing my own thing, and then it was time for the press conference. So my job, my role in the waiting room is to tell them, who's coming up next, who's
Yeah.
coming up next. So then I called her the girl group, right? And because that particular Meow
Yeah.
was the leader of that group,
Yeah.
right?
Oh man.
She was the leader of that group. So she was supposed to be the one that's gathering all her members to come in and like say, okay, let's go. And I could hear the MC at the next door saying, all right, everybody, welcome. Group
Yeah,
name,
girl group,
you know?
yeah.
Welcome. And at this point of time, they should be walking through the door that I
Yeah.
was standing at and say like, go.
Let's go. Yeah.
But she heard, so I was like, okay, girl group,
Let's
come
go,
on, let's
yeah.
go, let's go. They were just next to the door, but I remember this member, she was the leader. She heard me and she was like, oh, my eyelashes is so painful. It's so pain. Then she just sat down on the couch and she didn't want to move.
Wow.
And then I was like, oh my God, what am I looking at? Then I said, I thought she didn't hear me, right? So I said, excuse me, sorry, it's your turn to go.
Can you say that in Korean?
No, because
Oh yeah.
You know?
You got to still go say in Korean.
so basically it's just go 저기요 그 but I have to say the group name. I don't want to do that.
Okay.
So then the next thing you know was that she heard me. She looked at me. She was like, "Yeah, not doing that." She had that face,
snap, man.
and she took off her jacket and she was like, "It's so warm in here. I'm not."
She took off her jacket.
She took off her jacket, and this was all in that super packed time when the
Like they've
reporters-
already announced.
They've announced that this
Dude,
group
that
is
is-
coming in. The reporters were just like
That's
ready
just-
mode to take camera, and they were just sitting there.
Oh, my
So
sweetness.
one of the members were really nice until today. Like because of that, I really
Favorite
like her.
moment.
Favorite
Yeah.
moment. She was like, "Okay, come, let's not do this." She actually told her own leader to say, "Let's not do this. Let's just get up and go."
Yeah.
Which then she complied
yeah,
and she
yeah.
put on a jacket. And she had this like really moody face on, right?
Oh.
The moment she walked through that door, I was just staring at her. It went from like to like
Oh my sweetness.
that moment onwards. I knew to never
Follow this
trust
group anymore.
celebrities. Not the group, but like I knew from that moment because it was my first
That
jobs
duality,
ever, right?
man.
The reality of meeting your heroes, like
real.
never meet your heroes.
It's real, man.
It's real. It's so real.
Shucks.
Sorry, I'm still here. I'm just really quiet because I'm hearing this for the first time.
Oh man.
And I'm like, oh my lord.
Every
Yeah.
time I listen to this
I-
story, it still just surprises me because it's crazy. Like, there's a level of like fakeness, right, in the industry that is just unparalleled.
Yeah,
And that's the real acting. I feel that's the real acting, right? Not even the actors.
Correct.
I mean,
That's
technically,
real
everyone's
acting.
putting on a show.
Yeah.
And we all have to realize that some people are doing this as a job. I mean, if you take it in the context, right? If you're a baker, you bake when you go to your kitchen.
Yeah.
But you don't bake everywhere you go.
Yeah.
So if you kind of just take that parallel, like you're an actor or you're a personality, you have to be that way when you go to work. But you don't have to be that way when you're at home. Unfortunately, for most, like sometimes, I mean, most half of the time, the person who goes home isn't the same pleasant person you see on
Right,
screen.
That's true. That's true.
I think we've experienced that ourselves,
You-
meeting some of our heroes.
Yeah, you wanna do we have a bad story? I feel like we have
definitely
half a bad
do.
story.
We have half a bad
you wanna
story.
tell that one? Yeah.
So I think
No names.
No names.
No names.
It's a boy group. It's a boy band group. I'm just gonna make it even more vague so people cannot even guess
I don't
who it
even
is.
remember this.
Right,
Okay.
because I already skewed the premise of it. We
Oh,
met our a hero, a group of heroes or a hero, and because I personally look up to them. I personally look up to the craft that they do, the
Yeah.
art that they make. You get very excited, because. Wow, you've seen them on screen. You see.
Okay,
you
sorry,
see
it just clicked in my head,
You
yeah.
see their personalities. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh. If they were seniors in high school,
Yeah, you
they'd
totally
be
wanna
so
hang out with them,
good,
right?
You
Yeah.
know, we'd be like, we can, it'll be like amazing. And finally, we had the chance to meet them. I remember that fateful time. We actually met them. And
Okay.
everything I thought
Just shattered.
just shattered. And I'm like, it was like almost like a drag, to meet us.
It was, yeah.
And
Like you see on their faces, they weren't keen at all.
there was just like,
Yeah.
you know what? It came to a point where within the first 5 minutes, right? I almost was like, it's okay, it's fine. We can just go home.
Yeah.
And I know we were very privileged to do that. Don't get me wrong. I'm very grateful for the chance. But it's like the days and the weeks and the months that follow. Even now, because
look
we
at them
have
the
a
same
lot
way,
of we have a
right?
lot of mutual friends.
Yeah.
We hear stories, like personal stories from people about people like this, and it's just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I regret meeting
Yeah, I agree,
people.
man.
I am even more firm believer now of like, I would rather my heroes stay on screen.
Yeah.
Like recently, not recently, a while back, we also had a chance to meet Boyce Avenue. I'm only revealing the names because we never met them in the end. We had a chance like, hey Ming, someone called me up because
I
they
remember
were
this.
having a concert.
Yeah.
Hey Ming, I know you're a great fan. We
Yeah.
have backstage passes for you guys to meet them in person.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I've heard that Boyce Avenue are amazingly good
superhumans,
people.
yeah.
But I outright
I remember.
rejected
Yeah.
it because
And then we
I'm
just
like,
got normal tickets to watch. Yeah.
I was like, I told my friend like, I'm so sorry. I
It's okay,
really
dude.
appreciate
Yeah.
it, but I want to be a fan
Yeah.
and I want to stand in
Yeah.
the crowd and I want to experience their concert.
Yeah.
Because I think
I'm a bit too worried,
I
right?
can't, man. So much of my life is built on like looking up to them.
Yeah.
I don't want to risk anything
Yeah.
shattering from that.
Yeah, that was a pretty rough one, especially I think because MingH and I, man.
Yeah, man.
No, I feel like that story.
You wanna
cut deep
turn-
because especially for you, I know you were a big supporter and fan of these guys, and I think meeting them was just a rough day.
I mean, we can't even say that because
can't.
the more we say like what we are
really,
interested in, so much of this we got to
Okay,
cut out.
we're gonna flip. We're gonna flip sides now, and and share about experiences where we were pleasantly surprised by our heroes, right? And I think for me, just kind of before we go into that, I want to mention a very good point that you brought up, MingH, about how we're all still human.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And even for us, to all of our fans and friends and supporters who have approached us, and we've had some bad days, right? I'm going to be honest, like, there have been some
I mean,
rough days.
there are
And-
some days where we're really tired.
Yeah. And
We
then
are so hungry.
And then sometimes we get pictures of people taking pictures of us from the back. And then they're like, oh.
Hey,
you know,
hello, I see you.
it's a bit bad. And then you can see a bit of our cracks, right? No, but it's
not me.
I understand
me.
that there's sometimes that we don't have the mental and emotional capacity to.
Is there a best story of you meeting
definitely
a
is.
Korean artist? What was your shining example?
I know this.
Well, it's that one was
Can we just tell the name? I think we need to tell the name.
Just tell this one. The shining
The
example.
shiny
Tell the
we
name
need to
lah.
tell.
Come on.
'Cause this is a goddess. This is an angel made
Yeah.
human.
I have a top list A 5-star story.
Okay,
and she's
go for it.
she spoiled you for the rest of your
Go
life.
for
already.
it. Go for it.
Yeah,
right?
she spoiled me for the rest of my life
Okay.
of meeting your heroes.
Yeah, okay,
right.
Go for it.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. I'm not really sure. I wanna.
You want to
say
look at the
her
camera
name.
and say hi to her? She's definitely listening to this. In Korean, just quickly.
안녕하세요.
Say
I'm so shy.
You have to give her a love call.
Because she was
say,
so nice.
Because I feel that people like this need to be
They need
lifted
to be,
up.
yeah.
They need.
So the
Yeah.
world
They
needs to know that these people are. Oh my gosh! So
Yeah.
can you
Go
please
for it, go for
it.
speak
No,
in Korean and say hi to her and her name?
I don't really want to say a name. I think.
No,
I
we
think
have
it's,
to say it. No?
But I think it's not professional to say the name.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
I'll say it.
Yeah.
It's
Okay, let's just give a hint.
all
All right.
Her surname is Kim.
Oh snap! I think you can find on her Instagram already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did Kim Miss
Right.
Miss Kim
So
Mr. Kim?
this Miss
Just
Kim.
Miss Kim.
Miss Kim.
Mm.
Miss Kim is an A-list
Actress.
actress
Yeah.
in Korea.
Ooh.
Like everybody who goes to
Korea.
the plastic surgeons, right?
Right.
They would say
Make me look like
make me
Miss
look
Kim,
like,
yeah.
Like Miss
like
Kim.
Miss Kim.
Right.
So right before I met her, I was quite worried because I've watched her in drama since I was like 12, 13.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
And I've always thought she was very pretty. But then I was like, after all that experience, right? I was like,
be scared,
this is not going to be good, but let's just go in and do my job and
Yeah.
leave. But then I met her for the first time ever. I remember so well. She took my hands, shook it for the first time, and she remembered my name from then on. I thought she wouldn't remember my name, but she remembered my name. And I only realized that before we parted after spending 3 days together. And why is she such an A-list celebrity,
Yeah.
right? It's because whatever you see on screen, she's probably better in real life
That's
times
crazy.
5.
That's crazy.
Oh man.
Because the way I say this because you observe the way they treat other people when there's no cameras rolling, the way they treat their staff, the way
Yeah.
they treat the people around them, the way they treat their translator, the way they treat hotel staffs, even people who doesn't even matter, if I can put it that way, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And she was just so kind and nice about things. She was just very generous, and just to put it in, like, to give an idea of like how generous she is, right? She appreciate, because I spent a lot of time with someone who she brought over to Malaysia.
Yeah.
It was her
Is this
own
the one
family
that brought
member.
you shopping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
Oh, this is
so
the one.
basically,
Alright, right.
basically, I went shopping with one of her family members
yeah.
here,
Right.
because she was stuck in the hotel
Hotel room,
room
yeah.
because she definitely she cannot come out and shop, right?
Yeah.
So she was like, "Hi Natalie, I'm so sorry. She actually asked the favor herself. She said, "Will you be able to bring this family member out shopping?" Because
Can you just say that in Korean? Because people want to hear this in Korean.
You want to
Basically-
hear?
no,
you wanna
because
hear.
then I have to
Okay,
say
okay.
the family members thingy. So
I think it's fine here.
basically it's just please take care of her. 잘 부탁드려요.
Mm.
Okay, something like that.
Mm.
So
Okay.
I went out shopping, blah blah blah, and it was 2 days of really bonding with that family member. And she came back. This actress herself, she just felt. I think she was very appreciative of the
Yeah,
efforts
yeah.
that you spend time with somebody who, instead of like locking in her family member with the room with her, she
Yeah.
said, "Why don't you go and enjoy yourself?
Correct,
Why I'll
correct,
just
yeah.
be here cleaning up the room, that kind of thing." So I was like,
Cleaning up
"Wow."
the room. Kill me, man.
And I remember this family member was also very appreciative of like me going out with her. So
She bought you a dress.
she bought me a dress.
That's
She bought me
crazy.
a Dorothy Perkins dress.
That's
I
local.
remember.
You wouldn't even buy yourself a Dorothy Perkins dress.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
And then she
Yeah.
stuffed me with like this.
Envelope?
cash.
Yeah.
No, she
A
didn't even have
bundle?
an envelope.
A stack.
A handful of cash.
Handful of cash, American dollars.
Oh my goodness.
And I could see one of them was $100, right? And it was like a handful of it. She was like, "Just take
It's like
this."
those in the movies, the
Yeah.
the bundle.
No. But she just took it out from her wallet and she was just like,
Oh my goodness.
she was like, "Why don't you take this?" And then I said, "No, I can't take the cash. I
Yeah.
can't take the cash because
I can.
I'm on a job."
Yeah.
No. I think it just wasn't nice to take
Yeah.
the cash. So I mean, easily there was like 500 ringgit there.
Oh my
and I was like, "Oh
goodness.
my god!" but at the end of the day, when I said, "Oh no," then I turned to the actress. I said, "No, you shouldn't let your family member do this because it's not good for me. It's not good for you. It's not good for everybody. Just don't do it." And she was like, "No, why not? Because Natalie, you've been such a great help." And this was all right with nobody else in the room. I was in her suite.
Yeah.
I was in her
It was
suite.
just
her
you, her,
personal
and the family member.
Me, her, and the family member.
Yeah.
And she was just so nice about it.
Oh man.
I felt so touched that somebody was so genuinely nice about things. And as she was doing that, she was cleaning her own like luggage bag. She was like on the floor, no makeup, but so damn pretty still. You know? When you're so pretty and you have such a good heart,
It makes you even prettier.
it makes you even prettier. I walked out of the room, I was like, oh my gosh.
This angel.
This is an angel.
Yeah.
That you never
But
ever
you ended
meet
up
again.
taking something, right?
No, so I said, if you guys really want me to take something,
Yeah, I love this part.
I'll take your car.
I'll take the roses.
Yeah.
Oh.
You leave the roses here the next day.
Because she can't take the flowers back.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can take
obviously.
the flowers back. So I said, I'll take the roses. And then she could have just said, nah, then you just choose out these roses. She went and picked. She said, oh, this one will suit you better. This one looks like it will suit you better.
That's
Then,
crazy.
I mean, where else? Where else can you get someone
Oh
like
my
that?
goodness. That's just...
Yeah, so that was my super A-list. So you can find her on my Instagram. I just don't want to say the name.
yeah.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So what about you guys?
That's a dream, man.
That is... I love her so much.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay, so here's the part that Natalie didn't share. The family members of this particular actress were so kind and so nice that they were asking for Natalie's personal contact and number, and they said, when you come to Korea, come and eat at our house.
Right.
Like it wasn't even like
my
it wasn't
lord.
even let's go for a meal. It was like come and eat
Oh
out.
my
And
lord.
for Koreans to do that, it's opening up their family. To
Can
do.
you
That's
bring
crazy.
us along?
Yeah, I tried to get Natalie to call them when we were there. She refused.
Yeah. I mean,
That's why they gave Natalie the
Because
number.
the family members still like texted her.
That's
like, Thank you
that's
so
why
much,
they gave
everything.
Natalie the number.
Ah.
They wouldn't give us the number.
I'm
We were
gonna
like,
try that one.
Yo, we got no Airbnb.
Yeah,
Can we come over?
Yo, can we come over?
Yeah.
And, you know,
What's
hang
up?
out, right?
Lao.
I think for me, one of my most memorable meets with a hero of ours, quite recently, I'll drop his name actually, because I think a lot of people know
deserves.
him. He deserves it. And his name is Mark Ruffalo. He plays the Hulk
Yeah.
in all of the MCU's films, right? And like MingH and I, we know Mark Ruffalo as the jovial, happy, funny guy on screen in interviews, right? But there was a part of me that was like, that's just a front. That's just going to be something that you only hear about in interviews. But when you actually meet him, after the camera stopped rolling, he's going to go from smiling to frowning immediately. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so worried. I almost said to MingH, man, you're just going to do this alone, right? I was so worried. And this was for Thor Ragnarok in Sydney, and we went over and we already did the sit down with Chris Hemsworth and Taika Waititi, and then it was time for it's okay, you guys are next, we're gonna meet Mark Ruffalo. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this, man. You just go and do this alone. All right, we just went in, and we went in. The cameras weren't rolling yet, and we met him and he shook our hands. It was a very genuine. He was so happy, and I know that these guys were jet lagged. I know Chris and Taika were jet lagged because they
were
landed the
tired.
morning itself.
Yeah.
And Mark landed the morning itself, and he was so warm, and he was like, "Hey guys," and there was like that there is a moment where people are giving you 100% of their attention. When they're looking at you, they're nodding their head and they're expectant of what you're about to say. And Mark was giving us 200% of that before the cameras were rolling, and then we got into it, and we had so much fun that he let us go on further than the 3 to 5 minutes that we were allocated, because everyone's only given 5 minutes. And Mark was like, no, let these guys continue. Let's carry on, because the timekeepers were coming in. They're like, time.
Yeah.
And Mark was like, no, it's all right. Let's just go. Oh, you have 4 more questions. Let's do all of them. And we're like, what?
He probably really likes you guys.
And here's the best part. So after that whole session where we hugged it out and we were like, thanks so much for your time, Mark. That was the morning, and that night we had the red carpet. Right, and we were on red carpet, and there was a ton of media as well. It's not just Malaysia; it's Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, Japan. Every other country's media was there, and so it was a packed red carpet. MingH and I were in the corner. We thought we would never get to say hi to anybody. All of the stars were passing by because it was such a busy night, right? Then it was time for Mark Ruffalo to come down the red carpet, and he walked down. He took his time to shake hands, sign autographs, do all the finger hearts and hand signs to each country, and he saw MingH and I. And even though we were tucked away and there were tons of people screaming for his attention, Mark turned and saw us, right? And that wasn't it. He came over and said, "Hey, it's the Mings!"
Wow, he remembered your names.
And we freaked out. Like, there's a moment, MingH and I were just like, what? And I don't remember what happened next.
Do you remember
I
when
mean,
it
we
happened?
interviewed,
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa! Hey, Mark. I'm like, yes, we finally got someone we can interview.
Yeah.
Because, the duty of being at the red carpet is...
You still got to interview.
It's like almost not enough to interview them in the room. You got to interview them on the red carpet as
Yeah,
well. But yeah, Mark... I mean, to be honest, Mark, Chris, and Taika, they were all great
They were
people.
so fun, man.
But Mark really stood out,
Yeah.
being the warmest, I guess. And
There was I think the crazy...
He felt like a normal person.
He felt like a normal person. And
Yeah.
I think I really admire that about someone who's so big, right? He's been not just like the MCU stuff. He's been in like Now You See Me and stuff like that. But there was zero ego when it came to Mark. And I think that's something that's so appealing about him as a human. And just kind of like to draw that back to how we live our lives, right? Like we get the question sometimes when we go for events and then people ask, how do you deal with the fame? To be honest, we're not even a fraction of what these amazing Korean artists are.
Yeah, I honestly feel, right, social media celebrities, right, if it gets to your head even at this level, I don't have really much to say.
Yeah.
To be honest, guys, we're nothing. We're really nothing much.
Yeah.
You get what you see. We sound like, I mean, the best pat on the back for me is like people come up to us and like, oh my gosh, you guys really are like your videos.
Yeah, you are exactly like how you are. Okay, wait, minus me. I've gotten a lot recently in this past few years that MingY, you're not as funny as you are in videos.
You can't turn it on all the time. People need to realize that, right?
You're not a clown.
I'm not a clown.
Yeah, I think if you're like that 100%, it's a bit funny as well.
It's a bit scary.
It's a bit scary. Yeah. But I think the biggest pat on the back for us is that, okay, no one has said that, wow, you are that one. But we also try to like not reject anyone who comes up to us. I think what really is the underlying motivation for that is gratefulness.
Yeah,
I don't think we see this as like a privilege or like
if anything, we are undeserving of it.
Yeah,
I always say that until I'm the next Batman or Spider-Man, I'm not famous at all in the slightest.
Yeah, I think for when we grew up looking at Asian guys which were like popular, handsome, talented, and for us to get the chance to do this kind of thing,
it's a bit crazy.
I mean, like to treat audience or fans like crap. I mean, I don't think that's a great thing to do. Minus something that really happened recently. A fan got a hold of my number and called me up.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I treated him real rough.
Yeah,
because
I would say almost deserving. Actually.
Yeah, that to me, I need to apologize to the guy if he's
I
listening.
feel like you don't have to.
But I think it just came from a bad place.
It
bad
did.
decision at a bad time.
Bad.
Yeah,
bad.
Real bad. So other than that, I feel like we've tried to stay true to who we are, meeting people.
Yeah.
Because I think when you have, number one, when you are absolutely grateful for the chance you've been given to do this, it shows.
Yeah.
And I mean, number two, who are you in the great scheme of all things?
Like, make no mistake,
you're an
guys.
entertainer.
Yeah.
You're not even like Mother Teresa or like someone who is benefiting humankind.
Yeah.
I mean, if you understand that, you're in a better place.
Yeah, make no mistake, guys. Like we are not. I think there's not a moment wherever like we meet you guys and we are not. We still walk away with a sense of walao.
Thank you.
Why? Like I still don't understand like why they come and like find me. And
I always say there are better things to watch.
Yeah,
there really better people
really
to follow.
And we feel immensely grateful, but at the same time, there's a very huge feeling of we are just undeserving of it.
Yeah.
Right. And so we're really grateful for all of it. Natalie, and I feel like how do you like when you meet people who know you?
Before I jump in on that, I think I just want to speak from a third person's perspective.
Yeah.
Like watching people come up to both of you guys, I think one thing I've observed and really want to give you guys a pat on the back for is that from the very beginning, when you guys were even below 100K until what it is today, right? You've always really tried to engage in a real conversation with whoever comes up to both of you. Sometimes MingH doesn't remember names, but he remembers you by stories.
Yes.
MingY remembers names quite well, but you cannot expect him to remember 100% of your names.
I just want to, don't take it the wrong way, guys.
Yeah, don't take it the wrong way. But the thing is, my main point is that I really think it's so good that you guys actually take the effort to have a conversation with these guys. Not every single day, but you ask, what's your name?
Yeah.
That is the most important thing. I think I've seen a lot of people go up to different people asking for photos and whatnot. But usually it's just, hi, can I get a photo? Then the photo's done, then you just go.
Yeah.
But at least you guys are like, hey, what are you doing here? That kind of thing. And I think it's something that many people should actually do, even if they're not an influencer. Just any kind of job you're at, right?
Yeah.
It's just basic manners. And I think you guys have taught me that, and I think I just want to thank you guys.
Thanks, man.
To always ask a person their name.
Natalie is biased towards us. Just
I
as
mean,
Not
that-
really. She's quite hard,
that,
actually.
but no, that's one of their really best traits, I think, as influencers. People who look up to you guys will take that as well and reflect it to other people
thanks
that
so
they
much,
meet.
Nat.
Yeah,
I think it's always important to treat anyone as a person first.
correct.
Yeah.
They're not a fan, they're not an audience. They're a person first with feelings and emotions. And I think when you do that, the world is a better place.
Yeah.
Like, no
Correct.
matter what,
Yeah.
you know?
What's your funny story, Nat? Of your,
I don't have a funny
I
story.
have a funny story. There was a couple of
About Nat?
times where Nat and I are out, and then people approach us and ask for a picture, and then they specifically ask for a picture with her, but she never accepts the fact. So she's always like, "Yeah, I'll take a picture for you." Then I'm like, "No, Nat, they want a picture with you." Yeah, I can take. Just come on, hurry up, guys, over there. I'm like, "No, Nat, they don't want a picture of me. They want a picture with you." And then she just look at them, huh? There have been so many of those occasions, and I think it's, I think for me, there's something that I want to make sure that we never forget. Just that sense of like, what? Are you serious?
Yeah, I think
Right?
you just you never want to be in a position where you
Take it for
expect
granted. Yeah.
somebody to pass you a phone and then go like, "Oh, you wanna take a photo with me?"
Yeah.
Maybe that person's just asking to take a photo, asking you to help take a photo of themselves.
I mean, again, we're not claiming to be anyone's heroes.
Yeah.
Yep, of course.
We are just very grateful to be
We are extremely.
to be asked to be the subject of your photo.
Yeah.
Just remember to tag us,
Thank you
please,
so
so we
much,
can
guys.
see who you are.
Yeah,
We're not
please
asking you
tag.
guys to tag us for fun.
Yeah.
When you tag us, right, we actually have a bigger chance remembering who you are.
Correct.
Okay, the next time we meet you.
Oh my
just
goodness.
saying.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
We hope that these stories have entertained you and given you a bigger insight to the world of celebrities and hero culture. So I think to just ask the question again, should you meet your heroes? I'm still on the fence for that. I'm going to say no.
I think you gotta experience it yourself to figure that out.
Or maybe meet them with the knowledge they
Right.
might go south.
Yep, then that's better. That's much better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the thing again, I would say even for MingY and myself, we're not blaming these people for anything.
No, it's just
They are just them, and I think when you watch them on screen, your expectations for a person is very different.
Very different.
So, is there anything wrong about meeting your heroes or your heroes being a certain way? No.
no.
But
Expectations.
No, yeah, just go in with
Someone
the right
once
mindset.
said expectation is the mother of all disappointment.
Yeah,
Unless you're rude.
unless you're rude.
Unless you're rude, then you deserve it.
Yeah, that's basically
Man,
it.
thank you so much for watching us on YouTube as well. Thanks for listening in. Have a safe trip. Have a great week ahead. Thanks, Natalie, for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Why don't you just say a word of thanks and goodbye and greetings in Korean?
네, 다음에 봐요.
What
No,
hand
you
sign are
gotta
you
say
doing?
thank you for like everything. Just gotta.
Let's
네,
wrap it up.
오늘 시청해 주셔서 감사하고요. 다음에 또 봐요.
What does that mean? All right,
Okay.
bye.
She winked. For those who are listening on Spotify.
See you guys. Thanks for listening.
Bye.